All right. What up, everybody? Let's do this. See y'all in a minute.
Are you a rich man?
When you mean rich, what you mean?
You have a lot of possessions? A lot of money in the bank?
Position make you rich? I don't have that type of richness. My richness is life, forever.
All right. All right. Where am I? What's going on, everybody? Welcome to Exposing Powerful Eyes. How y'all doing? Welcome back. Oh my goodness, it's been forever. It feels like it's been a year. What's going on, Mella? What's going on, Jason? What's going on, Moldy? Good to see you guys. I actually recorded a video last week, and I was gonna post it that day, but then I ended up not having the time that night, so I just been sitting on it. So we're gonna end up playing that. It's like a 20-minute long video. But yeah, so I should have been back last week, but what I did was I recorded a video live, but privated, just because I wasn't sure if I wanted to post it or not. So I was just like making some small comments, recorded it, and then figured, okay, if I want to post it, I'll just set it to public. But YouTube hates when I do that because then they think that it's like a live stream that has 0 viewers, so it gets just memory hold. So then I figured, okay, well then I'll just restream it on a brand new live stream. And like I said, I didn't have time for it that day, so we're just gonna do it today. Apparently, we got JFK files are supposed to be released today, but I'm not holding out much hope for that. So I guess we're gonna wait and see. Still waiting on those Epstein files too, which never came. So when I heard that announcement, I'm like, yeah, okay, I'll believe it when I see it. I'll believe it when I see it. What's up, Aisha? Good to see you. And yes, we're very cozy here, man. Like we were talking about in the comments section, it's 57 degrees in Buffalo, which is basically like 97 degrees here. It feels nice. It feels very nice. Yeah, today's probably not going to be the longest stream because I don't have a bunch prepared. I have a few things I want to talk about, and like I said, that video that I want to play that I recorded, but yeah, so we gonna do that. You think a covert op department would actually document their actions? It's so frustrating, dude. I mean, I don't even know what to say about it. It's just, I guess we'll see what happens. I don't want to sort of jump the gun and come out swinging. I'm going to give it some time and wait and see after the fact what happens, and hopefully we get something. I mean, I don't know why he would come out and be like, "No, we're releasing them." It's like if he's gonna not do it, then just don't talk about it. It's the same thing with the Epstein stuff. It's like if you're gonna do it, then do it. Don't talk about it. You're just making people mad at you for no reason. They have to void some pardons first, you know? That was great. It's officially null and void. It's like he knows he doesn't have that power, but he words it in a way that makes it sound official. Hereby, furthermore, I declare that Hunter Biden gets 1,000,000 years in jail. Henceforth and forevermore it shall be known that Hunter Biden's a pedophile officially. Yeah. Anyways, hope you guys have been doing good. God bless you guys, and I hope you guys are having a good Lent. Are there super chats? There are super chats. All super chats will be read live. This channel is not monetized. I purposefully did not monetize it because when we qualified for the YouTube partnership program was in the midst of the YouTube Gestapo censorship regime, and so I didn't want any extra scrutiny on the channel from the YouTube moderators. So our super chats are sent through Venmo, Cash App, and PayPal. Let me post the links here. If anybody wants to do that, they can. Let's see. Where's the links at? But there are no official YouTube super chats. I mean, YouTube takes 30% anyways, so I don't like that scheme anyways. So I prefer to do it like this. All right, I'm just gonna pin those to the live chat, and we'll move on. All right, so let's start off with this pre-recorded video that I did, and I'll be pausing it intermittently to add things to it. If I haven't watched it since I recorded it, so I don't know. It might be terrible. I might be overly critical. So let's just roll with that. And then actually, I have a funny clip to show you guys, but it's sort of on the next topic, so I guess I gotta wait to play that. It's like a 3-second clip. All right, right here. Here we go. There we are. Live from the tent. Everybody thinks I'm in a tent, so I should just roll with it. I'm in a tent, desperate to get out, y'all. Where is it? There we go. Coming at you live from the porch. Please pardon our noise, pardon our airplane sounds flying overhead. We're on the porch. Alrighty. What's going on, everybody? We're doing things. Today we're doing things a little different here. It is, what time is it? It is 8 in the morning, 8 in the a.m. here in Buffalo, New York. And I'm making this as a pre-recorded video because it's just some thoughts that I'm having and I wanted to share, but it's not, enough to do a show, and I want to make sure I'm not just rambling and that it's coherent and has some value before I post it. But yes, exactly. Yeah, this is the bottom of a pool. Bottom of the $30 pool you get at Big Lots. A little inflatable pool. I'm sitting here on my porch. And actually, before I get into that, just wanted to say, miss you guys. It's been a long time since I've done a video of any kind. And, I hope everybody's having a good Lent and is focusing on the important things and is doing well. It's been super cold here, so I haven't wanted to sit on the porch and do live streams. This winter was brutal. We were very lucky last winter having a mild winter where I was able to, do streams regularly. So I will be back. I will be back doing shows, but, anyways, so that's where I've been. And I hope you guys have been good, man. Hope you guys have been doing well. But I'm sitting here on the porch and I'm watching the Chris Cuomo Tucker Carlson interview, which I can strongly recommend to everybody. When it first popped up on my feed, I was like, I'm not watching this because it just makes me mad every time I see Chris Cuomo. I'm like, why are people platforming this guy? He lied about COVID. He was, willingly participating in this horrific system, which resulted in the deaths, the murders of so many people in America and all over the world. It's like, I don't want to hear from this guy. And that's how I felt when he was on Patrick Bet-David's show. That's how I felt when he was on Tim Pool. I'm like, who cares, dude? And of course there's forgiveness, and of course there's repentance, and of course it's like I'm not, talking about holding a grudge. I'm just talking about, I don't want to lay with dogs. But so when I saw him, on the thumbnail for Tucker's video, my first reaction was to not watch it, and I didn't watch it. And then today, this morning, I'm sitting here and didn't have anything else to watch. I clicked it, just to have it on in the background. And I ended up really enjoying it and thinking it's an extremely valuable discussion for people to listen to. Um, I am so happy to see that Chris is stepped into honesty and sincerity as much as it is in within his power to do. Um, he is really saying what he thinks, and that is so. I'm so grateful to see that because the main problem with these people is that they're insincere and that they're dishonest and that they parrot narratives instead of just telling you what they really think. And when they do, then the truth usually becomes very obvious that most of the sort of big left name voices like Cenk Uygur and Bill Maher and all of these people, it's not that they're, pure evil or something. It's just that they're ignorant. They're not the brightest people in the world. And it's, you know what I mean? And they're just like the stupid lefties that, you or I might have been in high school or that, we know and love. And so when you get conversations with people who are educated, who are intelligent, who have the answers to their questions or to their issues, that is very valuable and that is wonderful to see. Um, and so the main reason I wanted to do this short little video is because I wanted to talk about something that they were speaking about and that I sort of was running through my head. So hopefully I can get it out. But they're, of course, talking about the Trump administration, talking about Doge and all of these things that have happened. And there's been a million times where I've wanted to do a stream and talk about it and give you guys my take on it. But not only has it been moving a mile a minute and very hard to nail down a thing to talk about because by the next day it's obsolete or by the next day there's something new, it's also just it's just one of those things I have to sit back and sort of observe and watch and see, okay, where is this going to go? Because there's so much emotion tied into the politics, as there always is in all times and in all places. There's so much emotion, there's so much hope, there's so much anger and hatred and love and all these things that it's very difficult to have an objective stance or an objective viewpoint. When Trump won, I was like, we won, we won the Infor. And even knowing that, like, this isn't some utopian thing, like knowing that we're fallen and that it's not going to, be all sunshine and rainbows. Even I was like, it was hard to not be super optimistic. But as the days progress and as time goes on and on, reality sets in more and more. And I don't want to say cynicism, but it is a sort of cynicism adjacent thing of like, man, the problem in this country is so severe, is so bad that I mean, it's a miracle that Trump survived and got in. It's a miracle that we have somebody trying to right the ship, but it's like it's going to take an act of God to preserve this country intact. It really is going to take an act of God, you know. Maybe that act has already come, but it's concerning. It's concerning to say the least. Um, I'm not gonna sit here and sort of rehash all of my issues with Trump and all of the concerns I have personally with him and with the people around him. I'm not gonna get into the Epstein stuff or the JFK stuff or all of that stuff because I could sit here, I could talk for hours about it, and we're all, I'm sure, on the same page. Oh my goodness, my light's shutting off. What I specifically want to talk to right now is the idea of the American Republic, of the American experiment, and sort of the situation that we're living in right now and that we're faced with, where our country is going bankrupt and where we've reached the limits of the American experiment. It seems, in my humble opinion, um, as humanity has progressed, as the world has progressed, technology's progressed, humanity has received all of these tools, the internet and AI and all of these things, which put us in a unique position and in an unprecedented position, where the American experiment and the institutions of it were adequate enough when the world was simpler and when people were simpler and when the bad guys, quote unquote, were simpler. And that now in this age where we have so much more information and where it's so much easier to get a broad view of the institutions of any situations and see like how it all works, it's so much easier for the bad guys, for bad actors to manipulate, extort, and pillage, you know, the country and the institutions. And so my whole thing is that, you know, the country is forced to adapt and to change in very significant ways, which I feel are very difficult problems but could be surmountable. But because of what has happened in this country to its people, it's like again, act of God is gonna take because we have had this war waged on people all over the world, health wars, info wars, you know, subversion, cultural subversion, destruction of faith and of ethics and of values. You know, had we maintained proper education, had we maintained proper ethics, had we maintained proper food, you know, we would be in a much better place to try to adapt to the problems that we're faced with. And I'm sure many of the problems we wouldn't have, like the fact that our country has been pillaged and looted and run so poorly that we're facing collapse, you know. Um, and so it's crazy because you know the reason that this Cuomo video and Carlson video made me think that is because they're speaking about the institutions and we're getting sort of the two different sides where you know Chris is saying you know there's a lot of this like America bashing going on that he's concerned about. There's this total distrust of the institutions and he's like you know it's kind of shitty to hear you know, the president or whatever, Trump supporters, you know, attacking the Justice Department, the FBI, all of the, you know, the Senate, all of these different things, the aid groups, all of these things, um, and saying they're all corrupt and they're all bad, you know. And he's sort of collating it all together, like how the CIA operates and has operated for the last 50 years is the same thing as the bones of the republic instituted by the founders, right? And that's sort of just confusing and missing the point. You know, Trump and all of us are not out here saying the nation itself is bad and needs to be thrown out. It's like these people. It's been subverted. It's the bad actors have examined our system, figured out how to most effectively and efficiently infiltrate, subvert, loot, you know, all for self enriching, you know. And because of that, it's like Pandora's box. There's no going back. We could make America great again. We could, you know, institute 1776 Part 2, literally just erase the Constitution, just white out everything except for the Bill of Rights and the founding Constitution, that, and start over again. You know, we could do that, and the people who have subverted it and taken it over would just do it again, obviously. And so, because of that, there is no going back. There is no making America great again and fixing the problem. We have to adapt. The country has to change. It's inevitable and it is necessary. And if you ask my cynical view of it, it's not going, it doesn't, I don't see how it meets that challenge with all of the factors sort of playing into it. I don't see how it does that. And so when I look out ahead into the future and think, you know, if I'm 80 years old, what is this landmass? What is the society and the communities living on it going to look like? I see it's either going to not be the United States of America anymore. It's, you know, it's going to collapse in one way or another, whether violently or softly, or whether, gradually or fast. It's going to become something else. It's going to be UN, zone number 3, or it's going to be the United States of America, but it's going to look completely different. It's going to be completely different. It's going to be sort of the progression of what we already have. This sort of like quasi socialism with the illusion of a democratic process where everybody's phones have a voting app, and should we have PB&J or ham sandwiches for lunch today? And you click it, and every day people are going to be screaming about how the voting doesn't mean anything. It's all rigged, bro. If I had to guess, I would say our future as a people on this landmass is going to look one of those two ways. Where it's the sort of fulfillment of the technocracy, of the oligarchy, of the shadow sort of elite, their goal of being a ruling class that is invisible and unreachable. It's either going to be the fruition of that, or it's going to be um, a a wiped out America where we're not the hegemon or even a superpower. We're just a part of a global system. And I guess those are two similar outcomes. Those are the ones I see. Um, but again, it's impossible to sort of analyze accurately because of all of these different unknown factors. My main thing that I wanted to express, though, was just this idea that the American experiment has good bones. It has a good structure. The idea of the core principles of liberty, personal liberty, and justice, are great. And those are things which should and can properly guide governments and communities. This idea that of checking the power structure by the individuals and by the communities and the people who live there, I think is a perfectly good system. And we've debated this, right, in the orthosphere, in this corner of the internet for years since I've been here. There has been the monarchist versus the revolutionary sort of in terms of America debate, and like whether or not America is just cracked from the jump, right? And obviously there's truth to both sides, but you typically hear from Orthodox Christians this view of monarchism and monarchy as the ideal system in relation to the American system, at its core, at its beginning, as the Christian system. Monarchy is, a Christian form of government, whereas the American Revolution, the act of revolution itself, was anti-Christian and Luciferian. It's rebellion, and then the idea of personal liberty being a Luciferian tenant of self-indulgence and selfishness and pride and vanity and all these things. But I do think that you can make the argument both ways. You can say, monarchy is a Christian system and is the Christian ideal system of government because it reflects the government of heaven, of the kingdom of God, so to speak, that God is the absolute monarch, right? But you could also say that God has made us all with free will and that God wants humanity to be free. And so both of these things, I mean, you can make compelling arguments for both of them, but I do think that there is stock in this idea, or in the fact that monarchy has ended, has collapsed, and that God has allowed that to come to pass. That old world order has, you know, moved on. The world has moved on from it. And so I think that's evidence enough in itself that it was not prepared to handle the events to come in the world. And the fact that the American Republic system became the world empire and became the sort of shining beacon for the rest of the world, I think there is something to say there. So as time goes on, I do see more of an argument for why it's not totally cracked and totally just throw it all in the garbage, right? And certainly the tenets of our justice system, the tenets of the courts and of the legal system in America, I think, is great. Is based on Christianity and Christian ethics, and I think that's wonderful. Bro, Molly, I don't even. It's been so long since I've watched Barney. I don't even remember what the Barney laugh sounds like. I'll have to pull it up and re-listen to it. And so my point is that while raging against the establishment and raging against the institutions which have become so decayed and corrupt, it's not that, the people saying these things or pointing these things out are saying that the founding philosophy or worldview that, uh, everybody is equal under the law, everybody is sovereign, everybody has free will, and that was a misspeak. I don't think the American system posits that everybody's a sovereign. So clearly, this guy's retarded. That the pursuit of happiness and life and liberty are the sort of ideals for a government to protect in its people. I think that's great, and I think that is or could be or should be an answer to the structure of our societies moving forward in a optimal situation, right? It would be great if moving forward as these countries and governments adapt and change and grow, that they don't move in towards this total authoritarian, top down, iron fisted control of the people. Yeah, Stephen, that's why that's why I made that caveat. I didn't want to sound like one of these sovereigns. We're sovereigns. I'm a living man. I am not driving. I am traveling. You can't give me that seatbelt ticket because of all of the problems that history has shown us that creates. Um, okay.
And
I will. I mentioned this before, but just for anybody who's confused, I recorded this video earlier in the week. I'm playing it. We are live, but I'm playing a pre-recorded video, so please don't be too confused here. It's almost over. So yeah, as a Christian, as Christians, we're in sort of a unique place where it doesn't really matter for us because we know we only have 80 years, to be here, and so it's not something to really spend too much time worrying about or too much energy fighting for. But I do find it interesting, and I do find it important, as we have this world that we go through, and then our children come and live through, and so I think it is an essential duty of people to maintain the earth as stewards of the earth, and this is a important function of it. But I just think, food for thought, interesting to think about where we're headed and the problems facing us now and how we're going to rise up to that occasion and how we're going to address these problems. Because we know for sure that this country is going on this path that is completely unsustainable, that, something's got to give and that the bubble's going to pop if real serious reforms aren't instituted like yesterday, you know. And also just to repeat the main idea that the American experiment was good and it worked, but now that Pandora's box has been opened, it's not a revert to the old system and that'll fix it. It's just not that's not going to be effective at addressing the bad actors, at home, who have brought us into such a destructive place in terms of our institutions and government. Like completely destructive, completely antithetical to Christianity, completely antithetical to the needs of the people living there. Just so completely opposed that they wage a war against their own people to make them unhealthy, uneducated, and immoral. I mean, that is like so mind-bogglingly evil that it's like hard to grasp. So yeah, that's what this video was. It's just me sort of sharing thoughts about America and about where it's just food for thought about where we're going, and yeah. Anyways,
pretty much everything I wanted
shut
to say.
up. Get off the screen, loser. Where am I? What's going on, everybody? So yeah, that was the video. Like I said, I recorded it live, but privated. I wanted to restream it, so I figured I'd take this time to do it now. We got a lot more of the homies coming in since I went live. So what's going on, John Connor? Good to see you, brother. What's going on, Jesky, Jethro, the homeboy up in the house? What's going on, Hendo, my brother? Drive safe, bro. Good to see you, man. Thank you for popping in. Slow boy, Michael. What's going on, Michael? What's going on, y'all? Who else did I miss? I know I missed somebody else in here. Stephen Mulroney up in the house. And yeah. So yeah, I don't know. I just thought it was Germanus. What's going on? I just the main idea being, just that question of like, you hear people arguing all the time about the American system and liberty being sort of contrary to Christianity, but I thought it was interesting that you can make an argument that it's not. I mean, God made us free, gave us free will, so I mean, there's that sort of thing, but I'm a slow boy, so, maybe I'm wrong. I don't know. But yeah, everybody's talking about the InfoWars drip, dude. I'm telling y'all, you guys gotta get on this, dude. My girlfriend and I went to this wrestling show, this local wrestling show this week. And I ended up meeting like 10 people there because of this sweater. Like, my other sweater is dirty, so it was in the wash. I'm like, I only got this one. I guess I'll wear this one. But I sort of half expected to get rocks thrown at me when I got there. And I ended up meeting like a bunch of really cool people. I met this one dude who was Roman Catholic, but he had all these like sort of like 1776 patches on his vest and InfoWars stuff, the come and take it with the cannon and all this stuff. So I was like, yo, what's up? And we started talking. And I had my my Orthodox t-shirt on with the ICXC NIKA. And he was like, oh, are you Orthodox? And so we were talking for a while. And it was really cool. He was a really cool dude. And, so I could sort of talk about that with the title, Orthobros, you so nassy. We get a lot of hate directed at Orthodox Christians online because we're not nice or we're not nice enough or whatever. I saw some dude made a tweet the other day that was like, the online Orthodox community is devoid of the fruits of the Spirit. That's all the evidence I need. Stuff like that. And so, y'all get an F, dude. All you Ortho bros, you so nasty. Y'all get a big F. And to that end, we got a little clip from Jay Dyer. King Ortho bro. King mean Orthodox bro. So mean, dude. He just posted this over here on Instagram. James White trolling.
Shortly after all that, I get a response from him. And his response is, you have a gay lisp and wear Cosby sweaters.
I can't believe he read it live, dude. I can't believe he read that live. I mean, tell me where I'm wrong, James. Where's the lie, dude? Where's the lie? AP was yapping that too. Who's AP? Oh, that's not inspiring dumb philosophy. Who's AP again? Man, it's been so long. I am so not in the loop right now. I've been very very out of the loop. So apostate prophet. Oh yeah, okay, yeah. There's so many lame accounts out there in the Orthodox internet sphere. I'm just so that's what I mean by I'm out of the loop. Like I don't really follow the internet Orthodox drama or any of that stuff. Like I'm just sort of on that Ewok island alone, just sort of doing my own thing here. I don't want me together with some of these goobers, like what's his name? You got Ewok Prime or whatever, Patriarch Prime, and you got Thaddeus. You got all these like personalities on the internet Orthodox stuff that I just want nothing to do with, and I don't want to like talk smack either, so I just try to stay silent on all that stuff. But certainly there are, arguments against a lot of like sort of toxic behavior that people engage in, and I think that my reputation speaks for itself. I've got thousands of hours on this YouTube channel trying to give, good takes and trying to sort of promote, Christianity and humility and kindness and love and all of these things. But of course, anytime an Orthodox Christian on the internet does something wrong or bad, it's going to get a big spotlight on it, and then everybody's going to clutch their pearls, and everybody's going to freak out, and it's a problem. It's a serious problem. But at the end of the day, like, it's the internet. You don't know who's making the posts. All of the toxic behavior comes from people who are anonymous, who are probably 12 years old, who you don't even know if they're Orthodox. You know what I mean? Like, oh, they got an icon profile picture, so I guess they're Orthodox Christians. I mean, in even myself, like, I've been a jerk online. I've been toxic. I've been mean. It's easy. It's an easy temptation to fall into. And when you are baby Orthodox, when you're brand new to the church, like, you're not just perfect. You're not just gonna, like, become a saint overnight. And so it's something that you do, and then you learn if you're actually engaged in the Christian life, if you're actually going to church, participating in the sacraments, reading the scriptures, reading the lives of the saints. If you're actually living the sacramental life, like, those things just naturally fall away, and you learn to be more patient and more kind and more humble. And so I don't consider it like this huge problem that we have to address, like, oh, these Orthobros are so terrible. Like, yeah, there's bad people online who act a fool, and, like, there'll be the consequences. You act a fool in life, like, there's consequences. It just happens. You don't have to make it. You don't have to force it. They're gonna learn, okay? God's gonna show them. So, just be cool, be nice. And when I met that Roman Catholic, I mean, that's a perfect example. When you're on the internet, it's like every new Orthodox feels like they gotta fight this war and, like, attack everybody. But in real life, I mean, it's nice to meet a Roman Catholic. It's cool. It's like, okay, sweet. Especially one that's got, InfoWars style, Patriot style patches and stuff. It's like, oh, that's a cool dude, and God bless. And it's not a big deal. Like, I'm not, we're not enemies here. That's, so I don't know. It's just, as usual, the internet, isn't the best for fostering the virtues, and in real life, things tend to be more smooth. But I'm sort of bringing this up because I made a post the other day about this video that popped up in my feed from some random dude. I've never heard of him before. He made a video talking about why I'm leaving the Orthodox Church for the authentic life in Roman Catholicism. And so, I mean, how many times have we seen these kinds of videos pop up? So I shared it on my community tab, and I basically said, I since deleted it, which I'll explain, but I basically said, here's another one of these videos. I think it's funny that, this is the best that the RC internet can do, is they get people who make 2-hour-long videos in which they show that they have these massive gaps in their knowledge of the history and theology, and that basically, this is the best they got, is like they make these, like, sort of hit pieces, and they just sort of show their own ignorance. And I told people, don't engage, don't click on the video, don't watch the video. I didn't even watch the video. I just knew by looking at it, because I've been doing this now for 5, 6, 7 years now. I've seen many of these videos pop up. I'm leaving the church for the true church in Pentecostalism, or whatever. And so you already know, just by the thumbnail, what you're getting. And so basically, I just told people, don't engage, don't go to the comments section and start a fight. Just drop it. Don't give them any more views. Don't give them any more engagement. And then I had one of our friends of the channel pop up and go, as a priest, this needs to stop. He's been harassed enough. Da 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 da. And that just, like, took me by surprise, right? I was like, what? Hang on a second. Number one, harassed. I'm not harassing anybody. I'm literally telling my audience not to harass this person, not to engage with the video, not to get into arguments. So I don't know what. This has to stop. he's been harassed enough. I'm not harassing this guy. I'm literally trying to give my audience good advice and say, hey, don't get into these fights. And then the thing that really bugged me was the whole thing where this person who, again, I don't want to say because I love them dearly, and it's just a miscommunication. It's not a big deal. And also I have hopefully a good takeaway from this to share with you. But they were like, they completely misinterpreted my words and went with the worst possible interpretation of my words. They said something around the lines of like that I was alluding that this was like an officially sanctioned video by the Roman Catholic Church. They were like, it's not some crazy conspiracy that they put him up to this. Nobody put him up to this. Because I said they get these guys to make these videos, right? And of course, what I meant by that was his faith inspired him to make this video. But this priest was alluding to me constructing this conspiracy theory that like some priest officially sanctioned him and promoted him. I was just like, okay, all right, and it really bugged me, dude. It really got to me, and so I took the video down, or I took the post down, just to be obedient. Because if it's a priest saying this, obviously you always want to just err on the side of like, even though I feel like I'm being misunderstood, and I don't think that these critiques you're making are valid because you're making my point. My point was to not get involved, not to bother anybody. But of course, I mean, this is what we have to do as Orthodox Christians, just be obedient. And even though he's, not my personal priest or confessor, like, it's just err on the side of humility and obedience. And so I said all that to say this, that as Christians, right, to err on the side of humility and obedience is always the best way. And everyone is sent by God to us. So even when you're in a situation like that where a person who's above you in the church hierarchy, gives you a rebuke or a chastisement or whatever, it's good for us to think like that God is that God is chastising us, and that to use those opportunities to reflect and to like do some self-analysis and like, okay, so what's going on here? What do I need to learn, right? And obviously for me, it was pretty obvious. It's like, okay, clearly I still have quite a big ego if I'm like so concerned that I'm being misinterpreted or mischaracterized. It's like I am a worthless sinner, and so like I should be mischaracterized. I should be sort of chastised or whatever. So I just think that that's something hopefully I can share with you guys, is that when you feel like you're being wrongly sort of characterized or whatever, to take the time to just be obedient, be humble, and reflect. You know what I mean? So hopefully that's a good lesson for y'all. And if you're the person who made the comment, feel free to reach out. Like you have my private messages. You can speak to me personally since we're friends. It doesn't have to be a public rebuke. That's all I'll say. Because just like our priests do, your priest doesn't go out in public and say, Jerry, he's smoking too many cigarettes, everybody. I just want to let you guys know. Like, he talks to me in private and says, Jerry, you're smoking. My priest doesn't say that. But anyways, you know what I'm saying. But yeah, so it is what it is. Thankfully, Multi says, Jerry found my alt. Yes. Come on, dude. But thankfully, it's important that anybody who's doing internet work and is an Orthodox Christian needs to be under an obedience. I'm grateful that my bishop knows about my channel and reviews it. I'm grateful that my priest knows of my channel and reviews it. I have my priest, my godfather, and my bishop, all three of whom would, in an instant, jump on my butt if I were to ever do something wrong or if I was way off base. And so that's important. And in this age where we're flooded with anonymous profile pic accounts and stuff, it is important that there are people to check the random accounts and offer some pastoral guidance and whatnot. But at the end of the day, like, if somebody's out there acting a fool on the internet, like they're probably not going to listen. They're probably not going to be like, oh, maybe I should stop being a jerk. Maybe I should stop flaming this dude's comment section. I don't know. Just my 2 cents. Anyways, what's going on, KF? Good to see you. Good to see you, home girl. Yeah, we back. We back now. Oh, that's right. Yeah. I was praying for you shortly after you let us know that you were going in for that surgery. But I will admit that I did forget. So please forgive me. But you were prayed for at least twice. So I'm sorry. Sorry for forgetting. But I will add you to the prayer list and make sure that I pray for your recovery. And guys, pray for our friend KF. They deny the things that actually are official releases from the Roman Catholic Church. So yeah, that's true. That's true. But I'm leaving the true church for Pentecostalism. Yeah, I saw somebody post in the Orthodox Facebook group something about like, I really like Orthodoxy, but I like the worship of Pentecostalism better. I wish we could combine the two. I was like, oh no. Oh boy, I'm not even reading the comments in here. Remember that nice Asian fella that apostatized to RC? Forget his name. Yeah, I mean, there's just countless. Like, there's a bunch of them, and it's just one of those things that you just know like there's a lot going on in the private life, and they're probably talking to people whom they respect and are getting bad info, and it breaks your heart to see it. But the best thing to do is to pray for them. The best thing to do is literally just to pray for them, and like hold your tongue, because silence is often much better than argument and fighting. And it is nice that in real life, when I come across nice Roman Catholics and stuff, that it's chill. Also, I ran into this other person who turned out to be the brother of one of the guys at my church, so that was really cool. He came up to me and he was like, "Aren't you the guy that was in the Infowars hoodie when you got here?" I was like, "Yeah," expecting the punch to come flying. And he's like, "I was talking to my buddy here about AJ adjacent figures, and I see you're wearing an Orthodox T-shirt, so I assume you know Jay Dyer." And I was like, "Yeah, I know. I'm familiar with Jay, yes." And so we ended up getting into this, long conversation. Come to find out, he's the brother to one of my buddies, and I mean, this guy he mentioned Rachel, Andy, Jim Bob, all of these people, and it's just so frustrating. And I'm looking at you guys that he mentioned Rachel, and he didn't say Rachel from Exposing Powerful Lies, which tells me that you guys aren't doing enough to proliferate that meme. And so I don't know who to be mad at except my own audience, okay? If I find out any of you guys are using Rachel's name without adding the, what is that, predicate, suffixate? What would be the proper term? From Exposing Powerful Lies, okay? So henceforth and forevermore, it is an official declaration of this channel. Rachel is Rachel from Exposing Powerful Lies, period. And anybody who doesn't use that is banned. Perma-banned forever. I'll pretend like you don't even exist. So, because this guy knew all about all of our friends, didn't know anything about me. I'm not famous enough, and I blame you guys. So, thanks a lot. Thanks a lot. Thanks a lot. Turns out the powerful lies being exposed are you. Can you pray for Father Gregory of St. Joseph, the Betrothed Orthodox Church? He is in the hospital with illness. Absolutely. Thank you for letting us know. Guys, please pray for Father Gregory. I will actually, let me write his name down. Yeah, and guys, if you guys have anybody you want added to a prayer list, just put them in the live chat. We will add them to the list. Father Gregory. All right. But yeah, really cool, dude. It's really cool to see how like all of our friends are blowing up, dude. Especially Rachel. I mean, the other day I was like sitting on YouTube and it's like she's on Tim Pool, she's Andy's on Piers Morgan. It's like, how awesome, dude. That is just so freaking cool. So I'm just like excited as heck, dude. Like that is so freaking crazy. It's surreal. You're like it's just surreal. Let's all pray for Rachel. She is. I know. I was talking to Rachel the other day. It's Lord have mercy, dude. Lord have mercy. Pray for each other. That's all I can say. Rachel is expert lie exposer for sure. For show, dude. For show. It's on the other side of the country. All right, I'm just going through the chat, seeing who I missed. Oh man, Moldy made a funny comment about the intro song. He was like, Jerry recorded his friends down the street. Yeah, that intro song, little known fact, is actually a home video of my Speedway, the gas station down the street. It's just, it's the Venezuelan gangs and the Middle Eastern refugees in front of the gas station. So, why is Andrew in whatever studio? Are you talking about the Whatever podcast? I never watched that because it's so long. Like the first time they went on Whatever, I was gonna watch it like just to support them, but then I saw that it was like a 12-hour video or some 6-hour video. I was like, I can't do this. But more power to them. I mean, that's huge. I know that's a huge show, and that's big time. I saw Andy was on Tim Pool not the other day. It was probably about a month or two ago, but that was really cool. And it's just good to see the influence of like level-headed good dudes on these big podcasts. Like I've seen Tim Pool now since then use like terms that I know that he learned from Andy, you know, like and like really like I wish I could remember to give you guys the specific example, but things like I don't want to say presupposition, but like things like the feminism, his awareness of feminism and sort of the inherent problems with it. You can tell he's learned that stuff from Andy and Rachel, and so it's really cool. Friendly Ghost, Rachel is sick. No, it isn't. He has 4K simps watching whatever. I don't know what you're talking about. Like I said, I don't know the Whatever podcast, but every clip I've seen seems like he's doing great stuff. And I love Andy. He's a good dude, and I'm supportive. So if you're coming at our buddy Andy, that's not very nice. Come to Baroda, Michigan, to our parish. Oh, you're in the same parish with Rachel? Yeah, they invited me years ago to Michigan when I was in between my old place and where I am now. And Andy literally was like, come live on our couch. I was like, I'm not going all the way to Michigan to live on your couch, but I really appreciated the offer. That's just the kind of guy that he is. You know, he's a really stand-up guy, and I have so much love for that family. So sometimes Tim Pool schemes and dumps our guys on the Tiny Culture War channel. I've never heard of that. Although it does sound familiar. Tiny Culture War? I don't know. I don't know, dude. I don't know. But I think that's all I had today, guys. I just wanted to show that pre-recorded clip. I wanted to show the Jay Dyer clip, and then I wanted to talk about sort of just the toxic behavior in the Orthobro community. You know, I've always tried to encourage you guys not to engage in that stuff. It's a really easy temptation to fall into. You know, people do it, but when they grow up and when they act better, it's like, you know, it's sort of a self dealing situation. You know what I mean? It fixes itself over time, but because it's the internet, you never know. You can have bad actors that get in and cause issues and stuff. I'm not really concerned about how it's going to affect the reputation of the church. I'm not very afraid of the reputation of the church being tarnished by anybody other than myself. Obviously, I'm concerned about me doing that, but it's not something that would keep me up at night or worry me, because the reputation of the church in the world is that we are insane, that we are literally like insane. You know, I mean, Christ seems insane to the world, so naturally our reputation isn't going to be very good amongst normies. What matters is, are we actually living the Christ, you know, the Christian life? Are we actually growing in Christ? Are we developing virtue? Are we repenting? Are we becoming better people in Christ so that we can, you know, have positive effects on the people around us? That's really the main focus. I'm not concerned about how we appear to the outside world. Unless it's like something really bad, unless it's somebody getting famous, you know, globally famous as Orthodox who are not Orthodox, you know, or don't behave Orthodox. That would be a little concerning, and I would comment on it. But again, not going to keep me up. Not going to keep me up at night. Let's see, something just came in my head, and then I forgot it instantly. Oh yeah. Oh my gosh, dude. I forget. I forget. Anyways, Jerry the Tarnisher. That's me as an Elden Ring boss. Jerry the Tarnisher. Anyways, guys, God bless. Love y'all. Thank you for hanging out tonight. I think we're gonna come back now that the weather's getting warmer. I think the next show we're gonna do, I'm gonna find some radio shows, horror stories, something. We're gonna do a chill stream where we listen to some stories because I don't really want to talk about the news too much, dude. Unless it's something that's really relevant that I feel I can add. The politics just makes me so mad. I don't know why I follow it. I don't know why I enjoy following it so much because it ticks me off. But oh well. God bless you guys. Love y'all. Stay tuned for more. I will see y'all next time on Exposing Powerful Lies. Lil Ewok out. Peace out, y'all. And remember, it's Rachel Wilson from Exposing Powerful Lies. I will be following you guys. I will be checking your comments. If you don't say that, you're banned. Good night.